Hey guys, welcome back. This is Bernard from the BTNHD, and don't freak out, there is sound on this video. You just saw a quick unboxing on Lenovo's C940 14-inch hybrid laptop. The reason why I call this guy a hybrid laptop because you're able to convert it into a tablet and many other forms like tent, presentation, and laptop form, 4 different modes. One of the cool things about this review is that I am not in New York. So let's ask Siri, where am I? Hey Siri, where am I?
You're on N Central Expressway, Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, so I actually traveled with this laptop to Dallas because I needed a powerful laptop to do some recording. I also purchased a drone Maverick Pro. I wanted to get some aerial shots, and I needed a good machine that's capable of editing true 4K video with 10-bit HDR. So this is what I brought. Super satisfied with this machine. So what comes inside the box, super explanatory. You have your warranty guide, you have your quick startup guide, you have your power cable and your power brick. Now the power brick is actually 65 watts. Now this laptop, I classify it as a light travel laptop. And the reason why is because it weighs around 3 pounds. That is pretty awesome, with a thickness of 0.55 inches. It's nice and thin, light to travel, super powerful, and I enjoy it a lot. But there's always a but with my reviews. One of the things I do not like about this laptop is the lack of ports. As you can see right now, I have a dongle, a Type-C dongle that allows me to use my mouse. Don't get me wrong, the trackpad itself works well. We're gonna go over that pretty soon. But it only has 2 Type-C ports and 1 USB, right? So if you got the laptop facing you to the point that you have the, it's open, on your right-hand side, you only have your power port, right? On your left-hand side, again, you have your audio combo jack, which allows you to hook up your headphone or a headphone with a mic system on it. You have 2 Type-C ports, which allows you to, 1, charge the device, and also you're able to use external monitors using a Type-C connection. And last but not least, you have that 3.1 USB port. At the back of the laptop or the C940, you are going to have your housing for your pen, because it does come with a pen, which allows you to use the touch screen. Now I already have the machine already powered on, but again, on your right hand side, the power button is located right there. Just press it and it will turn on. One of the cool things that I like about this laptop is that it has a fingerprint scanner, which allows you to hook it up and sign in with your finger. I do not know if this particular model, the 14-inch, is able to have Windows Hello as an optional feature to built in when you're purchasing at the Lenovo site. But the only kind of security feature that it has is either a password, a PIN, or you can actually use the fingerprint scanner. Now let's focus on the trackpad on the C940 14-inch. When I was using the trackpad, I did not have any problems. It just works. Awesome. If you want to know the measurement of the trackpad on the C940 14-inch, if you take 2 quarters, 1 nickel, 2 dimes, it's going to give you around 4.13 inches, which is not that bad to use. I did find myself using a mouse, and the reason why is because I was doing a lot of editing with Premiere or Audition, or doing a lot of stuff with Illustrator, so I'd actually need to use a mouse to get in there. But sometimes when I did not have the mouse, I was able to use the trackpad with no problem. Now for the keyboard itself, pretty responsive, didn't have any lag time. If you want to know the distance between each key, if you take a dime and a nickel, that's going to measure around 0.12 inches. The keyboard itself is backlit, super bright, which I like a lot. At the very top of the keyboard, you are going to have that nice signature sound bar, which is pretty awesome. You have the sound bar right here in between the display and the keyboard, and on the left, on the right, at the bottom of the laptop, you're going to have 2 additional speakers. Now the loudness that I got on the speaker was around 93.2 decibels. That is pretty strong. Okay, so let's talk about the beautiful 14-inch IPS touchscreen on the C940. Now the resolution on the C940 is 3840 by 2160. The brightness level right now, this is the highest that you could go, and this is the lowest. If you guys want to know the nits, it is 500 nits, plus it is HDR enabled within Windows 10. When I was viewing content that supports HDR, it was beautiful. The colors was very vibrant. I just enjoyed it a lot. Like I mentioned before, it is touch screen. I didn't find myself using it a lot, But the only time I actually use the touchscreen feature is when I was using the pen. At the very top of the display, you are going to see a 720 webcam, and the webcam does have the privacy guard. I did find myself having some issues kind of sliding it to the left and right, but if you have nails and you get in there, you can actually open it up. On the C940 lineup, it does have that nice little notch right here at the display, making it super smooth to open it up with no problem. Now, one of the cool features on the C940 14-inch 2-in-1 laptop or hybrid laptop is the pen. I don't like the location on the pen. I believe it's big brother, the 15.6-inch one. The pen was actually located on the right-hand side. On the 14-inch, it's actually located at the back. When you have the laptop converted into a tablet mode and you're holding it, it's really hard to adjust and remove the pen. But once you get used to it, it's pretty easy. The performance on the pen when I was using it within Photoshop, I felt like it was a little laggy. I'm not an expert dealing with pens because I hardly use it. But for me, when I was using it and I was like tracing stuff real quickly or drawing or whatever, it was a little laggy. Okay, so let's talk about the performance. I did talk about a little bit of the performance on the pen. For me, it felt a little laggy, but how about the laptop itself? So let's right click on the taskbar, go to Task Manager, and let's go to Performance, and let's open this guy up. And let's go to CPU. We're gonna right click on the graph, change it to a logical processor. And this particular model right now is running 4 cores, 8 logical processors with an Intel Core i7 10th generation processor with a clock speed of 1.30 gigahertz. And this is the reason why I was able to edit and also view 4K natively without creating any proxy files within Premiere, which is awesome. For memory, it comes with 16 gigs. I believe you could go up to 32 gigs. Don't quote me on that. But for this model that I got to review for you guys, 16 gigs. For hard drive space, it comes with a Intel Optane 500 gig, or I believe not 500 gig, 512 gig solid state drive. And for the graphics processor, it comes with the Intel Iris Plus graphics, which is okay. I believe it's big brother, the 15.6, you're able to get a GTX graphics card. But for this one, I don't think there's an option to bump it up with a GTX, which is, it's okay. I mean, the graphics, the processor, the memory, the hard drive, it just works extremely well. I was able to edit things with no problem within Premiere. I was even able to do a little bit DaVinci and color grading and color correction with this particular machine. Now, I did notice some heating around this area right here, especially between the keyboard and the sound bar. There are vents right there, so the heat kind of hits the display. There are vents at the bottom of the laptop, but because you have the laptop on a hard surface, there's no way for the hot air to escape anywhere to cool down. Like I mentioned before during the video, this laptop for me, I'm classifying it as a traveling laptop because of the weight. You know, it's only 3 pounds, super light, super powerful. I don't even have it plugged up right now. The only time I actually have it plugged up is if I'm rendering stuff out within Media Encoder and I need that extra power. But for the battery life, when I ran PC Mark 10, just modern office usage, it took about 5 hours and 11 minutes. And for video, it took around 6 hours and 42 minutes. Now, for me, this is kind of accurate. And the reason why is because I'm using it. I'm traveling with it. Half the time, I don't even have it plugged it in. I could get this laptop up to 7.5 to 8 hours. And it really depends on how I'm using it. Plus, if I configure the brightness on the display, if I lower the resolution to maybe 1080p rather than using 4K all the time, I could save a lot of battery life. I could probably push it to maybe 9 hours, and it works well. But if I'm rendering out without a power supply, the battery life is gonna go like that real fast. Now, you're probably asking yourself, how about the pricing? This guy is not cheap at all. Retail price for it at the Lenovo site is gonna cost around $1,200, and you could go up to, depending on what you want for hard drive space, memory, and the processor, you could go up to $1,700. That's not that bad for this particular laptop. Now, overall, this machine is great. I'm able to hook up external monitors with no problem with the Type-C connection. The pricing is not that bad. I feel like it's affordable, between $1,200 to $1,700. It really depends on what you want for this machine. Pen usage on this particular machine, I felt like it was a little slow, a little laggy, but I'm not an expert. So most likely for those individuals that are viewing that part of me using the pen, you probably see the lag. The size-wise, it's great, 14 inches. I'm able to just use Premiere and have all my panels up and running with no problem. The only thing I do not like about this machine is the lack of ports. Like, come on. No SD card reader. I actually have to use a USB SD card to grab my footage. It only has one USB, it has 2 Type-Cs, and that's it. I would love to see an SD card reader or an additional USB on this particular machine, or an HDMI, because, you know, Type-C monitors are super expensive. Holy crap, you're gonna spend $1,700 on this and an additional $500 to $600 if you want to get a good 27-inch HDR 4K monitor Type-C, right? That's how much you're gonna be spending. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this review on Lenovo's C940 14-inch 2-in-1 laptop, or for me, hybrid laptop. If you have any comments or concerns, leave them at the bottom. Don't forget about hitting that like button. Also subscribe and make sure to share out the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.